So finally, the ending of Resident Evil Village has been reached. We have an all grown up Rose, the fate of Ethan Winters, and more details about the mold virus, and so much more. You're not gonna want to miss it. Stay tuned. So just a heads up, in case you guys are not aware, I will be talking about and showing cutscenes from the ending of Resident Evil Village. So spoiler alert, this is your warning. Right after the final battle with Mother Miranda, she perishes after one final heroic attempt from Ethan Winters. Speaking of Ethan, it was discovered that he was also infected from the mold virus and was actually dead this entire time ever since his first encounter with Jack Baker from Resident Evil 7. This does explain the amount of times Ethan was hurt critically to the point of losing his hand twice. The first time it was stitched back together, which made maybe a little bit of sense, but when Lady Dima cut it off again, he was able to just pour first aid over his wound and reconnect it like a damn Lego. I was not thinking too much about it due to the amount of ridiculousness from this franchise as a whole, but this was definitely on a top 5 list somewhere. What do you guys think? What's the most ridiculous thing you've seen in this franchise? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, after Ethan was successful in his final attempt to save Rose, Chris was trying to save what was left of Ethan along with his daughter. Ethan knew this was the end of his journey. Chris planted that bomb that destroyed the Megamycete for good. As one last big strive to protect his family, Ethan took the detonator and took the Megamycete along with him. Chris makes it back to the helicopter along with Rose. Mia, who was later discovered in a cell, which I can only imagine she's already used to, she says she was being tested on. In the same office, we discover some files telling the backstories of all the major antagonists faced throughout the game, which will all be separate videos, so make sure you're subscribed to learn more. I'm confused as to what Mia is still. Those flashbacks Ethan had, was that Mother Miranda playing as her, or was it really Mia?
This matters.
We matter, Ethan! You matter! You just won't.
Mia, what are you talking about? Is there something you're not telling me? Come on, talk to me.
Going back to the beginning of the game, Ethan did mention it was peculiar to just forget about the Baker incident so easily. And what was she trying to tell Ethan in that previous flashback? Regardless, I feel like Mia knew a lot more than most. She was even aware of the Ethan being special. My suspicions about Mia always seem to arise every time I see her. Chris was once again mad at himself for not being able to save Ethan, a feeling that he was way too familiar with. He never told Ethan about any of this due to the fear of getting involved. It almost makes you wonder if he deeply regrets not telling Ethan, ultimately causing more trouble than he needed, and costing the life of Ethan. I can only imagine the amount of guilt that's building up inside of him. Next we learn that BSAA also came along to try to deal with the Megamycete situation. It was later discovered that the soldiers that were sent in were actually bioweapons themselves, which is a big holy crap moment. What is an anti-bioterrorism alliance doing using the very tools that they're fighting against? So many questions, and Chris swore that someone will answer for this tragedy. Determined to find answers, Chris set a destination for the BSAA Europe HQ. When the Village of Shadows credits started to roll in the end, I was looking at the right side of the book here, and pictures were being shown. These pictures were telling the story of the village before it became a nightmare. These pictures tell the story about two parents who just had a little girl. Throughout this story, as she grows up, her mother gets hurt and passes away. Shortly after, the little girl gets hurt, not exactly sure from what, considering very little detail comes from these pictures, but looking for help, the father and the rest of the village was directed to a mysterious figure with a mask. In this person's possession was a rather mysterious syringe. The child was given this mysterious vaccine that seemed to cure her from her sickness. After this miraculous event, everyone else, including the father, took this vaccine, not realizing the mysterious vaccine was no other than the mold virus Kadu. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Shortly after, something was very wrong with the father. The little girl was frightened, not sure what was becoming of her father. It was later revealed that the father has become the very monster that we face throughout the game. It's safe to assume that Miranda was behind this plot when spreading this virus. It also was discovered that Oswald E. Spencer, one of the founders behind the infamous Umbrella Corporation, was being mentored as well. He eventually went off on his own terms due to having bigger plans and changing human evolution itself. Like I said before, Miranda's backstory will be its own video for the next time, so stay tuned. After the credits, we're met with an after credits scene, and we're introduced to an all-grown-up Rose Winters. She visits her father's grave for his birthday. Right behind her is an agent who says she's needed for a situation. After saying this, he makes the mistake of calling her Evelyn, the bioweapon from Resident Evil 7. Rose could be the new and improved Evelyn, but even stronger. Rose shuts this agent up by threatening him right there on the spot. With these powers Rose has now, it is safe to assume that she is using them for good to help Chris in whatever situation that requires a walking bioweapon. I cannot wait to see where this takes off next in the franchise as a whole, and I want to know how this will tie into the Resident Evil timeline altogether, if at all. But that's the ending for Resident Evil Village. Did you guys enjoy it? Do you feel confused about anything? That's probably normal. The thought that we might be able to play as Rose using her as a bioweapon is going to be amazing. That's going to do it for me for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. As always, give me your thoughts and opinions. Talk to me in the comment section. If you like this video, be sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified the minute a new Resident Evil video goes live. Until next time, guys, peace.